Hello and welcome to Monster Party with 1, starring Kondraki this time. I'm going to be playing Sine Mora, and if you've been watching our stream at all, you may have noticed me and Base playing this a little while back. It is one of my favorite bullet hell games, and it is also one of my favorite Suda 51 games. It is a very creative and well-crafted bullet hell side-scrolling game, and we're going to start playing it. Oh, and it has a really strange story. A little bit difficult to follow sometimes. As soon as they mention time travel, you know this is gonna be bad. So we got the Enkies and we got the Leo, and they hate each other, and there's an eternal war, time travel, blah blah blah, whatever. Above Mirage Mountain. So we've got a World War II kind of thing going on here, heavy bombers, fighter plane attachments, but it's nothing is quite as it seems. There are a lot of cutscenes too, but mostly this game, well, has some classic bullet hell waves of enemies. It's also got some mostly focused around amazing boss fights, which I hope to show a few off today. So let's get started. Game hands us over control. So oh yeah, 22. As you can see at the top, we have a time meter. Instead of health, you actually lose time whenever you take a damage, and you gain time every time you kill an enemy. If your time reaches 0, you die, and it's not fun. Additionally, well, I'll get to how you can lose power-ups as well when you get hit when we get to that, but let's focus on the current action. We're going to be learning now about sub-weapons. Sub-weapons are like the bombs in most games, and every plane that we're going to be flying in this game has a completely different sub-weapon, and some of them are more useful than others. This is a pretty standard one. We won't be using it much, but it's a pretty fun little basic shoot lots of missiles, hit lots of things, and if you hit one thing with lots of missiles, you end up doing a lot of damage. Very useful for these Marensteins. So, we have a split path coming up, which is the only one I know of, at least at this difficulty. And, we're going to be taking the novice path because, frankly, I'm not good enough to go through the challenging path quite yet. Yeah, see, we got the split route. We're going to go with novice pilots because they're not kidding when they say advanced pilots. It is, I hate it. To be fair, I'm not that great. Oh, so we have a new mechanic here, which I'm going to be demonstrating. It is the time capsule. When activated, it slows down time, allows you to move through bullet fields rather easily. It's limited by the number of speed-ups you have on the top screen. So, if you run out of that, no more time slowing ability. So these guys are jerks, just sort of flying by, impossible to kill. And as long as you don't die here, you hold them off and shit gets blown up. Job done. Mission accomplished, fellas. So, now we're going to learn about power-ups, and there's a bunch of interesting things to pick up in this game. You've got your basic time extend. When you lose all your time, you get a chance to give 5 seconds back. You got your score bonus, pretty basic. You can replenish your sub-weapons. You can replenish your time capsule gauge. You can just directly add time. You can get a shield, which protects you from any additional damage once it gets hit for the first time. And then finally, much like other bullet hell games, almost any kind of game of this style, you have your power-up, and your power-up will add additional options onto your firepower ability. But we'll see more of that as we enter the next couple levels. Alright, here we go. Get ready for some serious World War II Japan analogies here. What the fuck is a near? Oh my god. It always gets me. I didn't know static noise could do that much damage when dropped from a plane, but I guess I don't know that much about bombing. So here we get the story. Guy loses his son because he had the apparent conscience to not drop a nuclear bomb on innocent people. And apparently his co-pilot shot him in the head, so he's going to be trying to take some vengeance here. So, but we're not going to be playing as him right now. This game actually takes place over several different timelines, and we're going to be starting in the future timeline to start. So yeah, Eternal War didn't turn out to be very eternal. It's actually very short. Everybody just kind of died and they gave up and got captured, and it's not fun. So let's see what we're going to be doing in the future. As we switch between the timelines, we'll actually be revisiting stages that we've already played. It gives us a chance to see how time has affected the history of the world that we'll be inhabiting. So we're going to be playing as a lizard right now. He is pretty cool. I really like him. I mean, it looks like a French iguana or chameleon, I'm not really sure, but either way, he's got some style. So this is where this is the first actual level. As you see, I have a new sub-weapon, the Zeboath Driller. The Zeboath Driller is a very, very nice weapon. It's someone who, love that ninja guy in those, I'm embarrassed that I don't know the name of the game, but those classic arcade plane, top-scrolling shooters. And I always loved his beam weapon. I always thought that was just the most useful bomb effect you could have. Although I kind of played the dolphin guy a lot too. But Zeboath Driller is exactly what you want for doing a lot of damage to one thing at a time. But as you saw, you can sweep it across and hit lots of things and take down a group of enemies fairly quickly. Don't expect me to get a very good score, by the way. I'll probably be ending up with E's throughout this whole game. But hopefully through these videos I might learn a thing or two and might be able to take on some of the more challenging difficulties. Alright, so here's our first real boss. Those things from the Matrix. I don't know how they ended up here. Even got those face lasers. But this is actually apparently a reference to the fact that the designer of the bosses in this game and all the boss fights was one of the people who worked on, I'm not sure if people still remember it, but there was a series of short films put together in this thing called the Animatrix that took place between the first film and the second film. And they were pretty good. I don't know which one he worked on, but he also worked on that great scene in Kill Bill with about Lucy Liu's past. And I gotta say, that was pretty great. So, he's applied a lot of this design to the boss fights, makes them very interesting and fun to play. This is like, I don't know, my 20th time doing this boss, and I still love it. So, as we see, we're upgrading our firepower at level 4 now. Gives us 2 quick shooting machine guns. As we advance in, oh, that's another thing, the bullet spread and bullet types will be different between each plane as well, so while we carry the firepower over, the effects from that firepower will be radically different between stages. He's a swearing iguana, isn't he? He's got a foul mouth. So, this time we gotta kill these tentacles before they kill us. Son of an ass. I don't think I've ever heard that one before, but I like it. Our dear friend is apparently an... Oh god, that was a terrible pun, our dear friend. No, but she's literally a deer of some kind. Seems all the Enkies are some type of... Well, everybody in this world is some type of animal analog. And, Well, some have accused it of being a little bit strange for that. That was actually the intention of the art designer for the game. Upon viewing the storyline of the game and the characters therein, who were all human originally, he just decided it wasn't strange enough. So he went on to change them all into anthropomorphic animals. So we're at our new stage. We'll be taking our plane underwater this time, because the planes in this universe can apparently do that. And we'll be playing as the man who we learned about in the second storyline cutscene, who is the father of the pilot of that plane that didn't drop the bomb. I hate these mines. I hate them so much. Oh my god, I can't even tell you. Thank God for extends. So, in a lot of the stages we'll be doing, we're going to have to simultaneously manage our position for bullets and our position in the physical world. As you can see, I ran into a rock and I died. So, you can fast forward, but for some reason on my computer it doesn't quite do it so smoothly. But this way we can skip through some of the cutscenes at a slightly higher speed. I'm gonna be a little more careful with these mines this time, because that really messed me up. Gave me a very low margin of error for that cave section. There we go, much better. And I still got my extend, so there's to that. So, what else can I talk about? Like I said, this is a Suda 51 game. It's his only entry into the bullet hell genre. I believe it was made after Shadow of the Damned, and as some of you may remember, Shadow of the Damned had some pretty fun side-scrolling shoot-'em sections. And I think that may have inspired the creation of this game to some extent. This is a much better, obviously, you know, side-scrolling shooter, because it's, you know, an actual full game in and of itself. But I would honestly like to think that that at least informed the decision to make a game like this, and I'm very glad that he made that decision, because this is a very good game. I honestly recommend it to anybody who's a fan of the genre, and anybody who's a fan of Suda 51's strange plots, because this game has a very, very strange plot. We'll be getting to more of that. I mean, besides the multiple timelines and the reused settings, you know, it gets a little confusing, especially with time travel as a general plot element thrown in there. I mean, it can be a little hard to keep track of people. It doesn't help that the son of the main character, who is a bison, appears to be some kind of panther or cougar, which kind of threw me at first, but we'll get to that. Like everything else in time, let's just try not to die right now. I really do dig the whole planes underwater thing. It reminds me of Star Fox 64's underwater level, which was probably one of my defining experiences of my childhood. I thought it was just so wonderfully unique, and I'd never played anything quite like it before I played that on Star Fox 64. It's alright, we're in some type of underwater prison, and this is its warden. Now, this is a multi-stage boss fight, more literal sense than the last one. We're gonna really want to try to conserve our time slowing ability here. We're gonna have to be dodging a lot of things. Well, what we're gonna have to do for this fight is blow off each of these things one by one. Each one of its weapon systems until it's essentially rendered, you know, defenseless. This, again, not a easy fight. None of the fights in this game are very easy. It doesn't help that I wasted all my sub-weapons. Should have been a little less frugal with those. Although I suppose it didn't help that I didn't get any drops of it this stage at all. And there go the lasers. Feeling this thing's kind of mad at me now. Oh yeah, it's mad. Oh yeah. Now this part I don't like that much. It's a huge pain in the ass. It's gonna send all these little depth charges down to try to kill me, and it's gonna try to blow me in the direction of those charges. I'm gonna have to try not to die. When the fans aren't going, it's not nearly as hard, but the problem is, the only way to hit the fans is to be in the direct path of the depth charges and have them blown towards you. I don't know, I've killed a bunch of people already. At least one of them had to be partway, you know, innocent. Yeah. Blew that guy up. Now, let's have an explanation of what exactly we were doing there.
Regispire a Kobalt király tüzére volt. A hétfős személyzet 5. olyan tagja, akit utolért a bosszú.
So, yeah.
A birodalom nem érdeklődött vágta be Bokumonóra.
Story is pretty dark. This guy wasn't even the guy who killed his son, but he used him as a leverage against a woman who could use as a tool for his revenge. It's fairly unrepentant about itself. It's got some very gray morality going. So let's see how we did. Ouch. Seems depressing that way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the first stage. I hope you watch videos to come. I'll be releasing at least one of these a week. And thank you for watching. This has been Kondraki with Monster Party. Take care.